Welcome. This video will tell you about the current state of the IUCLID Integration Platform, or IIP, as provided by CropLife Europe. What is the aim of this platform? Basically, it's a companion tool to the IUCLID user interface and wants to improve its usability and efficiency when creating and manipulating IUCLID entities or IUCLID documents. The tool is developed by CropLife Europe, basically for its industry members, but as there is no real hard coding for specific documents intended, it is also technically applicable for all other legislations, but there is currently no real support for that. The tool can be downloaded free of charge, and collaboration to extend the tool from any other parties is very much welcome. There is a web page from CropLife Europe with information about electronic submission, where you can find the tools provided by CropLife Europe. And the second link provided at the bottom of this page here directly leads you at the navigation page for this IUCLID Integration Platform. The tool is available since quite some time. The current version is 0.93, so we are still in an early phase. The next version will be 1.0.0 and is planned to be released in the upcoming October, so in a few weeks from now, or even days. The following demo will show you the current alpha version, so the tool is being in development. So when the release is ready, what you will see will probably still be further evolved. The tool in the next version will support two main use cases. The first one is the mass data import or update via some Excel sheets, or more specifically comma-separated value files with predefined format. And we have specifically supported two entities which are part of the IUCLID inventory, which is one, the literature reference, and the reference substance. And I will show you that in a second as part of the demo. The second use case is an efficient data entry for fields within one specific document that you have selected. And we're currently aiming to make tabular data entry more efficient than is currently provided by the standard IUCLID interface. And also this will be demoed now. So let's now switch to the live system. First of all, maybe a quick look at the web page that I have mentioned. This is the landing page for our IUCLID integration platform, where you can find all the required information for download, installation, configuration, and you will be updated when new releases are coming if you want. Now, after you've downloaded this tool and installed it, you can access this tool via your standard web browser. First of all, the tool, and we go to the starting homepage here first, requires that you configure the connection information to your IUCLID instance, because this tool is an add-on tool. It requires the connection to an IUCLID instance, and this is done via the administrative settings down here, or you can also take the left navigation bar to go there. So you see here, I've already entered my own connection information here. I have a local IUCLID server running with the respective URL, username and password. And the tool checks directly whether you're really connected and also displays the current IUCLID version that you're using. Please note that unfortunately we're only able to support your own installation. ECHA does not support the connectivity to instances as part of the ECHA cloud. The so-called REST API, which is required to connect to the IUCLID servers, is not supported by ECHA in the ECHA cloud instances. So all that I'm showing here works with your on-prem installations. Good, so let's start right now with the first use case. On the left side, you see the respective item for literature reference import job management or reference substance. These two entities are currently supported for the first use case, where instances can be created or updated using comma-separated value files. Let me show you how this looks like. So what this tool also provides is as available download is a template which you can use to fill in data. So the first line actually defines all the attributes of the literature reference that you can fill. And you see here, it's a long list. Here in blue, you see the two fields where you can supply names for attachments. So these are real PDF files located in my directory, which I want to use. So these are referenced from my CSV file. And also here in yellow, we have examples for attributes that contain multiple values. So here, of course, these are all dummy data. But you see, by using multiple lines for the same target entity you want to create, you can supply both multiple attachments and supply multiple values for one attribute. So now let's have a look how this works. We go back to our tool and say import CSV. And then I navigate to the directory I've just been in and select the first example I want to show you in a CSV format. CSV stands for character separated values or comma separated values. So you can generate and even manipulate those files with a standard Excel tool. So let's open that, and you see those lines that I just showed you before here have now been parsed, and the tool has created two so-called jobs. And you see in the first line the job status is new. The data has been parsed but has not yet been applied to IUCLID. So I can now click on the different job entries and actually see what the tool has parsed. You see here the multiple values here for example, the attachments, or here the multiple values for the other study identifiers that have been supplied in the CSV. And also the respective lines here, when you go to the details, where you can find in your CSV the respective information. Now, of course, this is a small example. You can add much more in one go. I'll show you that in a second. The next step is to apply those jobs, which are not yet in IUCLID, to IUCLID. So now, as you've seen right now, this was very quick. The status has changed. Now those two jobs are created, and a UUID has been created both for the attachments as well as for the complete literature reference. And the status has changed. Now we can directly click on, for example, on here and open the newly created literature reference directly in IUCLID and verify that it's correct what we've done. Now, what happens if I, for example, reapply the same information? This doesn't do any harm. Let me quickly demonstrate that. I simply reselect the same thing and apply again, and you will see that the tool notices that there is no change, so nothing will happen. The tool will prevent to create duplicates, even if you do not know or supply any UUIDs, which are the technical identifiers that IUCLID uses. We're simply comparing the attribute values here and also the attachments. So another example is, let's do a little update now for one file. And you see now, again, the status icon is different. It's updated because in the demo, I simply changed the title here to become updated. So again, you can open it and verify that the update has taken place. And as you see here right now, also the PDFs are correctly uploaded. So this is one method we supply to quickly create or update a lot of entities in IUCLID at once right now for literature reference, and the same type of logic applies also to reference substance here. Now let's go to the second use case, which is accessible via this entry here, IUCLID Entity Management. Before I go into detail, I actually want to show you what happens here right now. You see, we both browse IUCLID and we also display document information here on the right side. Let's wait here, take some time. So we both display the information of the actual header entity, which is the substance here, as well as, for example, here we have an OHT here. So we display the mask. How do we do that? So let me quickly show you that. So what we do is, from a running IUCLID, we first retrieve the actual document definition automatically. So this is not hard-coded, but we query this. This is a technical construction called in a so-called JSON format. At the same time, we get the existing document data, if there is a document, and then this tool from this information automatically creates the attribute mask and includes the document data. This is very much similar to the approach IUCLID is doing in its own native IUCLID interface. So now we have a basic framework which allows us to further enhance the user interface, because we can now modify that, support more use cases, enhance tabular editing and other things, because the native IUCLID interface does not support modifications. So then we can edit our data here. I'll show you that in a second. Save it, and then the document data is then saved back to IUCLID in the required technical JSON format. So in other words, nothing that you see right now in the tool is actually hard-coded, but everything is done dynamically. So when we found a solution to support specific types of controls, this is applicable to all documents and to all legislations. That's why I said it's not restricted to plant protection submissions in IUCLID. So I want to show you a specific example right now here. So let's go to mixture. So we'll get the mixtures in our IUCLID instance. And then I click on this sample dossier here. And then I get the list of all documents down here, which are part of this data set. We're not bothering here right now with so-called working contexts. We simply, and also we do not display the documents in their hierarchical structure. This is not needed as of now. It's a companion tool, and it's quite easy to find documents via searching. So let's go to a specific document that I'm looking for. I'm going to show you the example that we are currently working with is estimated predicted environmental concentrations. Here, the example for groundwater. We click on the respective document, which already exists, of course, otherwise we wouldn't display it. And you see its current state right now. Again, we can already jump to IUCLID and see how it's looking like in IUCLID there. Of course, it's the same data, not much in there. What is different to IUCLID is the type of tabular editing. I first want to show you how this looks like in IUCLID. So in IUCLID, if you want to edit this table, you click New Item, you click on an arbitrary entry here, and then you get a separate pane. Now you need to go across every individual field one by one, which takes, of course, quite some time to fill that single line, which is a quite tedious exercise. As you can see right now, this has been just one line. And there are many lines to fill here and in other similar places. So what we say right now is that industry has definitely the required information already prepared in-house in a structured form because the data requirements are known, and we want to provide a method to avoid this cell-wise copy and pasting. So the approach taken right here is that we support the copy and pasting in our tool via the Windows clipboard. So let's look at some examples here. So let's assume this is something that a company has prepared to be entered into IUCLID. Now let's jump back to our IUCLID platform, and you see here now these are real tables and real cells and actually also editable. So what we can do right now here in our example is we take this here. I've now copied this into my clipboard with Control-C. Then we go into this cell and paste the data. And you see it has been pasted here. It has not only been pasted here, but already been parsed. What that means is the references, because this first column is actually, as you've seen, a reference to another system, document in the data set, has been resolved internally. So internally, the correct UUID will be stored. We'll see that in a second. The same applies for pick list values, which you cannot see right now. So let's save this here. Now the information is saved to IUCLID. Let's simply reopen this here. And you see the information is indeed there. So let's click on one thing. So this is a valid link we've just established. And also the pick lists have been set correctly. And also here, this single string that we've entered in our example here, that one, has been parsed correctly and assigned to this combo box, and in addition to the text, to the quantity. The unit also can be added here, but will also be present in the final version. So I think you can imagine that using this tool with tables of this kind will dramatically increase the efficiency of entering tabular data. So I want to show you another example here, which is, no, it's not that one. Was the sediment? Yeah, it was that one. So here we've prepared another example how future tables could look like. Also here you see this is not programmed, hard-coded, but this is simply applied to the document definition. So going back to what I've shown you before, each time where we find is a document definition that a table has to be created, we will replace this with this, what you have seen, and allow you direct editing or copying pasting via the clipboard. Okay, so actually this is all for now which I wanted to show you. This is the status as of September 2021. The final release of here will be ready in October. We will see further improvements of the display of the tables and further other functionality. So please check the websites that I've shown you. Again, this is the web page you can have a look at. And if you have questions about technical details or you need support, please use the email provided here. You can also go directly into the tool after you've downloaded it and use in the upper information bar the respective automatic links to create an automatic email. So thank you for your attention and stay tuned.